The NHL is already regretting letting this happen as Zachary Bolduc is tied for third in the entire NHL in goals, and his impact goes even beyond that. We have to break down the insane performance from one of the newest Habs this season so far, but it's not just him, Jesse. There's other guys we got to discuss, including Michael Hage, who was off to an insane start in the NCAA with the University of Michigan, and even Mike Matheson. And one specific change that has been made this season seems to be leading to a lot of success. So much to get into, all coming up on this episode of Habs Digest. And let's start with our boy Mike Matheson, because let's just start right here and just taking a look at his stats overall, Jesse. And we know Mike Matheson has had a great start to his year right there. Again, 2 points in 3 games, 22 minutes per night. But there's one thing that we all agree on, is that he looks really smooth. He's not making as many mistakes. Yeah, he still has some D-zone turnovers, but not as many. And to me, Jesse, the thing that stands out, it's that time on ice. I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, looking at last year, 25 minutes, 25-30 the year before, 24-30 the year before with Montreal. It's down this year. I feel like it's exactly what you and I have been saying. Like, Matheson with a partner who can take more of a load when he doesn't have to do as much. Things are clicking for him, and I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, and Josh, like, to be honest, I had my doubts, but like, it's amazing to see him like having such a great year, especially paired with Noah Dobson again right now. And like, this is the best case scenario for the Montreal Canadiens, of course. Like, I think we need to maybe just give a little bit more time till we're getting into that contract extension sort of talk. But like, the ideal situation is that he's coming out this year and he's just playing great hockey for the Montreal Canadiens, helping them to get in the playoffs, providing that playoff type experience, like just like how Kirby Dach, right? Like, obviously the best ideal situation, even though there's been recent struggles, you know, everything past put aside, it's really a new season, is that they pan out. And we're seeing some great examples. The fact that Mike Matheson's really jumping off the page, even, you know, compared to Noah Dobson, who's obviously getting a lot of praise right now, was just amazing to see. But I think a big part of what's also benefiting that, like, less time on ice, it makes sense for sure there, allowing him to kind of even lean into what he does best even more. But you have to feel like a big part of it is just like the team defense that this team wants to play, where like the, you know, the forwards, they're back checking, we're getting in on a forecheck. So it's really that team defense throughout. But I also think, Josh, like a big part of Mike Matheson's success, maybe one of the biggest, is very similar to Josh Anderson, where just he's been able to just kind of adjust to new roles and kind of take it on and be selfless in terms of just accepting what he needs to do, doing a great job. We were just seeing even last night on the penalty kill there. So some great signs for him early on here of just adjusting in some new roles.
I like that analogy, right? Like finding that new role and making it work. And that's exactly what's worked with so many Habs so far. And he also looks intense, right? Like he looks like he wants it this year. Now, contract year does change how players play a lot of the time, but I want to bring up this as well, just briefly. This is the top 10 forward lines and D pairings. Doesn't matter. We don't discriminate here in terms of expected goals for. This is sorted by expected goals for on Money Puck. You can see our first line is the second best forward line in the league, and our top pairing right now, Matheson Dobson, is the 5th best D pairing in the league when it comes to expected goals for. Shout out to the Ducks having 2 different things there at the top, but right now Matheson Dobson has been so good, to the surprise of many, but I'm thinking it's going to continue. There really haven't been any signs that they're going to slow down. They're learning to play with each other, and it's really exciting. But, you know, speaking of exciting, we got to keep this train rolling. There's so much to talk about today. No, it's not the Lane train, but maybe for another day. Right now, we got to talk about Michael Hage. Now, he has played a 4th game since then, since this graphic, where he was held scoreless, so he still has 9 points in 4 games. But even bar down tweeting about this, people are saying, do the Habs have another stud in their system? And I think the answer is maybe yes right now. Like, it's kind of crazy. Again, NCAA didn't update their website, but still, 9 points in 4 games. He's 3rd in the whole NCAA in scoring right now, behind only a couple guys from Penn State, which is where Gavin McKenna's playing. But Jesse, I mean, it's these great goals in tight backhand on a break, coming out here with a one-time snipe a la Patrick Laine. Everything's aligning for Michael Hage. This guy has not slowed down yet to start the season, and I am really, really intrigued to see how this year finishes out, because like he's already at like over a quarter of the way to last year's production.
Yeah, it's just been an unreal start. You can't imagine a better beginning to the year. He's doing a little bit of everything, right? Like on the power play, being amazing as we know. But even then we see here, just using his speed, where like he's able to read the play so well. As we see here, like from the play earlier where he gets on the breakaway, like he just knows where the puck's going and he's just jetting it down the ice to make himself available for that outlet pass. Of course, so like that ability, like that high hockey IQ to read the play, the speed to be able to get there, and the hands to be able to finish it off is just absolutely unreal. And obviously that fits a lot of like how the Habs like to play. We're seeing Demidov with like those quick outlet passes, and that's somebody who I can't wait to see Demidov and Michael Hage together. Like, I think there's a real world where we could see Hage centering Demidov as soon as next year. Again, like the way that Hage plays, like in transition, just seems to flow so well with exactly how the Montreal Canadiens want to play as well. Just the details, everything that he's really bringing in the table here as well. I think that analysts have every reason to feel that Michael Hage is just a total draft steal right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you just see him, like you said, the style of play, can't you just see him being on this Habs team and fitting in seamlessly, right? Like, it's what it feels right. And again, like, Oliver Kapanen has looked good with Newhook and Demidov so far. Again, didn't get as much ice time yesterday because we had like 20 minutes of power play time and he's not on either unit. But still, like, he's looking good and he is a versatile player, can kill penalties, can maybe play the power play in the future. But Hage is one of those guys that does have that really good power play upside. I mean, we'll see about the penalty kill, but his face-offs are decent. I think he was 3 for 7 in his last game. Like, there's still lots of good signs here. And again, like, I still don't think, certain guys like Oliver Kapanen necessarily have a spot locked up for the long-term future. And that's the beauty, though, of being the Habs right now with so many talented young prospects. So I want you guys to tell us, do you think Michael Hage will be a center on the Montreal Canadiens as soon as next year? It's maybe a bold take, but completely not impossible, Jesse. We're going to be keeping an eagle eye on his production. But, when we're talking about guys who fit seamlessly with the team, there is one guy who obviously stands out right now, and it's our boy Zachary Bolduc, because we talked last night, Jesse, about how a lot of, like, even neutral people are just like, how did this happen? And I think the NHL's already regretting it. Blues fans certainly are regretting it to some extent. And again, I hope Mailloux does great, right? I still really hope he has a good career. But, like, right now, we have Habs represented at the top of the league standings. Nick Suzuki tied for first in assists. Dovesh up there third in save percentage, tied for second, really. But it's Bolduc who stands out. Jesse tied for third in goals, behind only Shane Pinto and Pavel Dorofeyev, ahead of a guy like Jack Eichel, Connor McDavid. I know it's early, but these 3 goals are just so beyond insane for Zachary Bolduc. Looking at his stats already, he's even laying the body a little bit, crashing into the corners with speed. He's hitting people. He's drawing penalties. I don't understand how Ken Hughes managed to get this. Again, like some people are saying, why was he even available? And the goals that he scores, they're the exact kind of goals you want. To mix a little galley, scrappy in front of the net with some snipes. What has there been not to like about Bolduc, Jesse? This guy is looking, I knew he was good in the first couple games. This dude looks like he legit has a really, really high ceiling for this team moving forward.
And it's really the timing of this recent addition of Zachary Bolduc, which is so big for the Montreal Canadiens, because just as we're getting like that increase of skill in Demidov and Lane Hutson coming in his second year, now we're having a player coming in who has the skill to be able to play with them, but then has that combination of grit as well. And we know that in the NHL, just look at the Florida Panthers, like you can't win with just skill alone. You really need that combination, and look no further of skill as well as grit than Zachary Bolduc. Like, he's just such a perfect representation. And then the kicker to boot, he's the perfect age group to just grow with this team with all these young stars over time. He's not some grizzled vet, kind of providing, for a couple of years before he rides off into the sunset here. So just what he can really provide this team over the long haul. And again, we don't want to underestimate the effect of these players, what they can do of like bringing other players into the game. Like Pizzetta, for sure, that's great, bringing that momentum in the limited games. But like when you have a guy like Bolduc, like basically playing top 6 minutes, like how that can bring other guys into the fight when you're playing a team sport is absolutely huge. Like Zachary Bolduc is a leader out there. The way that he's playing, he just gets other players that are going to be finishing their checks. They're just going to be paying a little bit more details in order to what they need to do on the ice. So again, just amazing to see what he's doing. And then, of course, the offensive capabilities that are there. We're going to need to keep an eye because, again, like a young guy scoring 18 goals, like you have to feel like the potentials, there's more for there. Like I said last night after the game, like this, we're looking at like a potential 30-goal scorer, not next season. Like this guy can do it this year, and obviously he needs to continue as the season's going on here. But I definitely think that, like Josh, not only this year, but going forward, that type of 30-goal scorer in Bolduc is exactly what we got going on.
Absolutely. And again, like the goals we're seeing, they're very sustainable, right? Like it's not like these goals are flukes or like, oh, he's getting He had a great pass from Gallagher, like for a partial break, but that's going to happen when a guy like Bolduc is so fast and so speedy, so aggressive to get to win these puck battles. But like 2 of the goals were scrappy in front of the net, and that's exactly where he thrives. And it's so amazing, not to mention the absolute rip of a shot he has that we're starting to see in the bumper spot. They're aiming for him. But I also wanted to bring this up. And, this is for on ice expected goals percentage. When a guy's on the ice, what's the expected goals percentage for your team? Now, I will say this is skewed because this is just the top 5 for the Habs is just our top power play unit, and they played so much against Chicago. This obviously is skewed. But despite that, even though it's our top power play unit, Zach Bolduc is nearly 10% over Juraj Slafkovsky in terms of on-ice expected goals percentage for first place. And relative expected goals percentage, in terms of on-ice minus off-ice, he still has the best. He has, so far, the biggest impact of any player on the Montreal Canadiens in terms of expected goals. This is, again, is it going to be sustainable to score a goal per game? No, it's not. But 30 goals, like you said, Jesse, I don't think is far-fetched. Yes, there's going to be moments this year where it's going to look like, oh, maybe he's figured out, right? But his intensity, and I love the way you put it, leadership, I think, when he's on the ice, making those aggressive plays, laying the body, getting to the dirty areas, that's what's going to keep him alive. And he's never going to have these huge struggles because of his shot, because of his effort. So excited that the NHL let this happen. Thank you, St. Louis. I'm so pumped to see what the future looks like. And leave your thoughts on Zach Bolduc down below. He's making a huge impact. That'll do it for this episode. Hey, if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, guys. We're here every single day all season long, and I know you won't want to miss a thing. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.